In the morning, when we told him to surrender, we called his family members, surrender. Then he blew the house with a rocket launcher.
Oh shit.
So he died inside that. And I was there with these splinters inside my leg for the whole night. The doctor later told me that you need not take out the splinters. So they are still inside my body. They got dissolved. He told me these are souvenirs of war. I'm the fourth generation in the army. My grandfather was in the British Army, and my father was in the officer in the Indian Army. So am I. You will not find ex-army officers, many veterans with big chain, tattoos all around. Veterans are generally well dressed and all. I'm not that kind of guy. There's no other feeling bigger than being a patriot.
What are 3 things that you learned in your experience in the army?
The first thing is, like I told you, dream outlandish. Have a biggest dream of your life. Second thing which you need to understand is setbacks and failures will be part of the game. And finally, the third thing which they need to know is
Welcome to Something Bigger. We travel the world to talk with the most inspiring and influential people, uncovering their stories, sharing their wisdom, and the incredible ways they are making a difference. We want to help you to dream bigger, live a more exciting life, and to grow. Make sure to hit subscribe, and I commit to bring you even better content. Now, get ready to dive into this incredible episode. Tell me describe me who was Shivender before entering the army, and the Shivender that is here in front of me.
Oh. Okay, so just a brief background. Like I told you, I come from the family of soldiers, the clan of warriors. So I'm the fourth generation in the army. My grandfather was in the British Army, and my father was in the officer in the Indian Army, and so am I. So the background to it is that initially I wanted, never wanted to join army. I wanted to become a cricketer. Yeah. So I was always since my childhood, I was an outdoor guy. I was very good at studies, a very average student, but a great sportsman. And sometimes what we don't see in the hindsight is that the things which we are doing at particular point of time, they will have a serious ramifications what we do in the later part of our lives. So what I want to tell you is that, like I told you, I was not a very great student, maybe a backbencher kind of a guy, laid back attitude towards studies, always sneaking out for games and all sports and all. So I was, and apart from that, I was a very shy individual. I was not good to speak to. I was not very fluent in speaking in English. Although I come from an army background, my father was a well-read man. My sisters were convent educated, my elder sisters. They were very good in studies. They used to top the college, and they were really good compared to me. So obviously, when my dream of not becoming a cricketer, it never materialized because maybe my hard work was less, maybe the age was on the other side, because you need to catch and be in the team somewhere young so that you have a good career ahead. So then I wanted to join the army. So thereafter, when the cricketer thing didn't materialize, I always wanted to join the army. The second option was army only because, and my aim of joining the army was to see actual combat operations. And combat was the only, I was never in doubt of joining the army, and I wanted to join. In India, it's an officer-led army. Officer plays a pivotal role, is the anchor of whatever operations happen, because you plan, you execute, and you are from there from the time the operation is planned till the time it's executed and you come back. So that's why I joined the army as an officer. And once I joined the special forces, and then slowly the kind of experiences I had I would say in my Special Forces career, the kind of adversities I went through, the kind of setbacks and failures I went through during the course of my life, early life, I would say. I'm 46 years now, but say from 20 years onwards till the present day, it started having a deep impact on my mind. Those were changes like when you see a guy very close to you dying, when you are yourself saved many a times where you couldn't have really come out, your belief in, I would say, spirituality. So why I'm telling you, so this kind of experiences, this kind of the work, this kind of work ethics, I would say, they were ingrained in me. So the guy who joined army, prior to joining the army, was a very careless kind of a guy. He was fun-loving. Fun-loving, I was still there in the army because I was working towards. But the work ethics, the hard work part of it, climbing that mountain, climbing all nights, chasing, those kind of traits got really embedded in me. So it transformed my life. So from being I'm a very slow starter kind of a person. I don't go on the initially just blitzkrieg through the things. I'm not that kind of a guy. I am a slow starter, but I will achieve whatever I have aimed for. It might take some time because I take time to get warmed up. And then finally I achieve it. And it is only because of one thing, that I am very persistent and I work hard a lot. There's not much of genius in me, but I will work my craft. So these things that I'm trying to tell you, they were not there before I joined the army. So these things changed me. I would say stabilized as a personality after all these 20-25 years. Before that, I was much more fun-loving. Fun-loving, I'm still there, but I was very careless. I used to work hard, ho gaya. If it happens, it's okay. I never. But now I focus myself.
You spent 20 to 25 years in the army, right?
20 and a half years, to be precise.
20 and a half years. When you look back, what is the one thing that you are most proud of?
Serving the nation, the flag. Yeah, patriotism. There's no other feeling bigger than being a patriot. There is no, I don't think so. There is a bigger emotion than this. Serving the flag and being part of something which is larger than life, something bigger. So it is like, I think so, patriotism. It's nothing compares to that. No emotion comes closer to that. If you are fighting for your motherland, if you're fighting for your country, if you're fighting for your fellow countrymen, it's the singular honor that God has bestowed on you. Because you are protecting people who can't protect themselves. You are bestowed. You have been honored by God. You have been given the authority to defend people, innocent people, walking down in the streets of Mumbai, Delhi, anywhere in this great country. And you are protecting them at the place where, with your actions and with your knowledge and with your commitment to duty and your service to the nation, you are protecting those lives. Because if you think that terrorists, if we don't eliminate them in the state of Jammu and Kashmir or wherever they come from, the threat is not that it's not very easy for people to comprehend that thing, because the threat will come down. If I don't eliminate him at the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir, so he will go back to the town of Kupwara, which is in North Kashmir, and kill innocent people. If he is not eliminated there, he'll go to Srinagar, which is the capital of, which happens to be the, earlier it used to be the summer capital, now it's now a union territory, the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So the terrorists will kill the innocents over there, and if you don't stop them over there, they will come down to Delhi, Mumbai. So it's my moral responsibility to eliminate them over there. So there are no moral epiphanies as such in my life, whether I have to eradicate or it has to be done. And is the legal way of doing it. The government authorizes me to do this. I've been given a Indian commission by the President of India, which happens to be the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces. So I think so. Serving at those dizzy heights in those conditions, patriotism has driven me. It's not about money, I don't think so. Yeah, everybody requires money for sustenance, but then those things, like those kind of feelings and emotions, they are like, I would say, that cannot be bought.
Wow.
That cannot be bought. Yeah, I think so.
I was having goosebumps when
So
you're sharing that. Yeah, and how does it feel that you might give your own life for your nation?
Actually, if you ask me, when you're there in thick of combat and bullets flying left, right, center, you're getting hit, you're facing, the only thought which comes to your mind is to fight back. Because the incoming bullet will never stop till the time you are firing back. So those emotions, what will happen to me, that is the realm of mind which we have left very back. It's way back. So when you're out in operation, when you're out in combat, when you are in a counter-terrorist kind of an environment, where you're doing it every day, every time, every day, night, you are continuously involved in it. Because there are no cycles, there's no body clock.
Exactly.
You cannot say that it is Saturday, so militants will not fire,
Exactly,
or it's Sunday, it's Holi, Diwali, or festival season, or it's 31st December, so New Year's Eve, there will be no thing. So you have to be prepared 24/7 into 365. So the emotion of that thing of you saying ki what will happen or will I die, those commitments you have made to yourself when you chose that life. You have already made that commitment. You are now beyond the realm of being dead. Because I don't think so any martyr, if you look at it, or a person who dies in combat for valid reasons for the country, would not want or would have chosen something different rather than facing that moment of his life. Because you all die. Everybody has to die. But then dying for a cause which is larger than life, I think so this propels people. I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something that you build yourself, your mind.
Absolutely.
And then when you're there, you're just present. You know why you are doing it. You're just present.
You're just
right?
present there.
Yeah.
You're just present you're all soaked in the moment.
Yeah.
So these emotions are like, they remain and go. But then you are trying to concentrating your mental faculties, your physical conditions, your attributes, your muscle memory towards eliminating the target. So these things come, but then you have signed the contract. So you have already told yourself that, okay, no matter what, I'm going to do this job. I'm going to do it to the best of the ability. I'm going to try save myself first. Save my body, and then comes the innocent people who are not there. So it's a kind of a moral compass which guides you on. So for a combat operative, for an operator who's operating at that level, he has to give a little bit of sacrifices in terms of family life, family times. Some kind of times when your closest people or your relatives want you over there, you are not there. But then parts of the puzzle, you need to block that kind of things coming to your mind, because otherwise you'll not be able to operate at that level.
Exactly.
You need to control your emotions. You will have hard time when this kind of behavior you adopt. You will have hard times in your family life, and because people who are not there, people who have not seen that kind of combat, will always have a counter view that why have chosen this, why it's not getting over you. So even if I'm On leave, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
At home, a tire bursts. So I will think, oh, fire has happened. My mental faculties are attuned to that kind of environment. I will walk in over here, so I will see the exit routes. I will check. So when I sit, I see where the things are. So you have been trained in that way. It becomes part of it. For a normal guy, a normal person, this might sound very weird. So that is why it is very difficult to make people understand that what you do and why you do, why are you sacrificing your life to protect someone else who doesn't know that a person is sacrificing somewhere, somehow. So those are greater things. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
But you know, like what you're sharing is like you're always on.
Always on. Yeah.
And you are always going through so many ups and downs.
Absolutely.
And of course, in 20 and a half years, you went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What was one of your lowest moments in terms of emotionally?
I losing my buddy in combat.
Oh shit.
Yeah, my closest guy. This guy was around a month from his marriage. 24, 25 years old. We were operating in South Kashmir. And we had not a true blue kind of intel. We had intel in which it was a generic kind of input, but there was so much of terrorist movement. I'm talking a couple of decades back. And we went to this. We were two squads together, and the setup was it was a village in South Kashmir, and the input which we had generally from our sources was that there were two particular houses in which the militants or the terrorists used to visit. So one fine day at night, we decided that we will go and search these houses in the morning, and the junior commissioned officer, my subordinate who was there with me, he went with one squad and I went with 6 guys to the other house. So once the house which I went to was like on the fringes, on the last few places where the houses are, the village was ending over there. There was a bit of one under construction house, and then there was a field, basically steppes farming like it happens in the Kashmir Valley. And then there was a river flowing. And there was not a mountainous area because we were in the valley flow. And then there was open ground. So if we didn't kill the militant at that point of time, at the first thing, so they could have easily escaped out of it. So what we did was, I was with only, including me, we were 6 guys covering that house. And if you look at the demographic pattern, or you look at the construction of the houses in Kashmir, is basically they will have all houses sticking together. So perforce, if you're you've got the input of one house, perforce you will have to cover 2-3 houses because they are so intricately built. They're just so closely. The layout is like that. That is what we call it as urban, semi-urban kind of setup, built-up area, fighting in built-up area. So we went to the house, and the moment I called the owner out, he told that 2 guys are inside. So I knew that contact is going to happen. So with 5-6 guys, I just placed them. We covered the house, whatever we could with our thing. And I called because my subordinate who was on the other side, it was a big
with
village.
The other group.
Yeah, with the other group. I passed him on the radio, said that you come back. The guys are here, we need to be. The moment I was just laying kind of in a cordon kind of a thing, I was going. The militants, one of them opened the window from the ground floor and the other fired.
Shit.
And I was going towards my place where I was supposed to cover them. So in the meantime only, there was a boundary wall which was like my chest feet high. So I stood over it and I fired back. They opened up. When they heavy fire, they opened up. There were 2 of them. One opened and then fired. And then they jumped out of the window in the same, when I was also firing, they jumped and they came towards me. So I continued firing. They turned the direction. This all happened in 4-5 seconds.
Wow.
They turned the direction, went towards the other side of the boundary wall where around 10, 12 feet, my buddy was there behind it. He was sitting. So when the arc of the weapon moved like this, because they were running like this, so I knew here my buddy is there.
Oh,
so I need
shit.
to stop my fire.
Yeah,
So I stopped. But before firing in this direction and moving here, I could see that fire from this direction is not coming towards the militants, because militants are running like this. Had somebody been firing, so they would have stopped and I could have engaged them. It was just in a fraction of a second. You come to know in 4-5 seconds. So I stopped over there, and then I saw the militants have climbed the wall, and then they have moved out. Where is my buddy gone? I tried to engage them. There was under construction. I couldn't see, but I had to stop the fire over here because I didn't want it to happen that my bullet hits my buddy. It's a blue one. I knew where my guy was there. So I ran to that place. Militants by the time had gone out. They had gone. It took 4-5 seconds. I saw my buddy was shot in the head. He was wearing he was wearing a bulletproof patka. He was shot in the head and 18 bullets. 17-18 bullets were on his chest. But they fired him from, it was a 7.62 caliber AK-56 bullets, so rounds. So they fired, and then he died on the spot. So in the meantime, when I went to his place, the other guy who was covering the other arc, when he saw the militants, the terrorists running from there, he turned back. The militants fired at him also, and they hit him on the shoulder. So that guy got hit on the shoulder, and militants escaped because there was no second layer of cordon or people were there. So this guy was my buddy for last 4 months before he came back from marriage. Married 1 month, 1 month of marriage. We used to, in operations, because when we make the load table, we used to sleep in the same sleeping bag so that the loads are not heavy. We used to eat the same food. He used to tell me about his life. He used to tell me about his home. Although I was an officer and he was a soldier, he was a other rank in the army. But we were like, as special forces, we are very close fraternity, we are close group. So I knew inside about it. So last night, before this operation, we had meals together, the dinner together. And he had made us specially the lentils which we make over here in India, dal it is called. He had put some ghee in it and he had made it for me. So I think so. That takes a lot of toll out of you. I see your guys dying in combat. And more so because I was 25 years of age at that time. I was very young at that time. And I had seen combat, but I had not seen people dying. But during the course of my service, once I became a colonel and then I was like commanding. So that because you have seen so much combat and death that generally after some time you say it's part and parcel of life. If you are happy to alive, you're like, I've had a grenade, splinters in my leg, I've been shot at, my parachute has not opened completely, I've saved with that, this finger is broken, this bicep is broken. So the point which I'm trying to make, at that point of time, at 25 years of age, you feel like burning the village down. The emotions get so on top of you. When you're young, your blood boils. So that had a major impact on me. So it had a deep impact on my mind. That event, Oof. Yeah.
Well, sorry to hear. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. But what did you learn about life from that incident?
Okay. First of all, I tell it to people that there is a word known as gratitude, which people generally don't have. So, and maybe the life which I've seen, I'm alive having a conversation with Rodrigo, and I'm sitting here in an AC environment maybe 21 and a half years later from that incident, and seeing all the kind of things. So I have a lot of gratitude for life. So I am very thankful to God, and no man has given it to me. It has to be God. People say there is God exists, does not in spirituality. I don't know what name you term it, but there has a greater power, because on many occasions I've seen it up close. It's very, 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 very hard. Like in the Greater Himalayas, I was deployed. We call it a high altitude tenure. The place known as, you might have very 99. There was a very famous war with Pakistan, the Kargil war. So I was deployed over there. Not in the Kargil war. I was still a student when Kargil war happened, but somewhere 4-5 years down the line, I was at a place. So the hardships of life is that in winter months, it used to go till minus 40.
Minus 40.
Yeah. So the temperature used to go minus 40, 50. It's just, although we had kind of things, but what I'm trying to tell you, when you see a boiling hot water getting freezing in front of you within a matter of seconds, when you don't have fresh food to eat for a better part of your, like you have all dehydrated stuff.
Yeah.
We call it advanced winter stocking in the Indian Army. So the troops who are deployed from 1st November to 31st May, they will not have anything, fresh vegetables, nothing comes. It's all dehydrated and tinned and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. What I find myself enjoying, like enjoying a hot meal, it might not be a big thing for a normal person. But for me, it might be it might be a thing of really complete joy. Because having those dehydrated onions and that tinned food, because they put preservatives in it, it is going to affect your digestive system sooner or later. So if you ask mountaineers and guys who go for expeditions, 4,000 meters, 5,000 meter peaks and plus, and 7,000, 6,000, 7,000, and whatever they do, when are they on dehydration? When they come back, the hot food they get, that is a delicacy for them. Anything, maybe a hot cup of tea or something like that. So what I'm trying to tell you is that all these things, what they've taught me is that I need to have gratitude that I'm alive, first of all. On many incidents, I wouldn't have been alive. And second is that to enjoy what God has given you. If you see that kind of adversity, you will include the word gratitude in your dictionary in bold and capital. So that is how it goes. I think so. These things, that is what it has taught me the most.
It's one. And you mentioned, I mean, you got shot a couple of times. Was that a moment that you felt it's my last moment?
Yeah.
Tell me.
We were in a counter-terrorist operation, and we had got our input. It was a confirmed intelligence that we were chasing 3 guys basically for last 3-4 months. They were HVTs, only high-value targets, only because of the fact that they were the militant leadership of that. They were the top-notch guys. So we were chasing them. It happened in the foothills. I would not say foothills or mid-reaches of Pir Panjal ranges. So what happens in Jammu and Kashmir is that during summer months, the villagers, they keep their cattle and move towards the higher grazing grounds in the mountains. And the makeshift house which they make over there is known as a dhok. Okay, so it's not a big house, but it's a makeshift house so that they can stay for 4-5 months when there is no snow. Basically the summer months, and then come back during the winter months back to the main village. So it was a dhok kind of it was a makeshift house which only 2 floors. One was for the cattle down below, and the other one was the first floor where the people used to stay. So we didn't have much to search in that house. And it was a confirmed intelligence because the source who had given us, and I went inside my bed, we laid a smaller kind of outer cordon, and then we went inside, and it was because my guys who were in touch with the source, they were telling that he's inside only. There were 2 guys. So we went, with our butt stocks and all, we hit the walls, because sometimes the hollows they make the hideout, in between the walls they make
put
the
inside,
hideouts and all. Yeah.
Wow.
So we didn't find them. Then there is one particular place where in the first floor they have this kind of a opening in which they keep the fodder for the cattle and keep throwing it for the night. So that was the last place which was left. So I went and I opened it up, and because those are dark corners, so I had fixed a torch with my barrel of my weapon, and
without making any noise. You are not making any noise.
No, we are not making any noise.
Yeah.
But they knew that because our footsteps climbing from all the people knew that there's search going on. It had become open then. So I put my the barrel of my rifle, and I poked inside. There were some sacks inside that. I don't know. The moment I turned back, sometimes you have a feeling that somebody is standing behind you.
Shit.
So that the terrace was like closer than this.
Like this?
And my face was like this. So I couldn't see him, but I had a realization that shadow is there. I looked like this. He was standing with the weapon and just opened the fire. So from this range, around 1.5 feet, whole AK-56 he had, and he emptied the complete magazine. So the bullets went. My angle was there, so with my sling, my weapon was like this. So I fired like this. So it went. I also countered, but I couldn't get straight. I couldn't get in a position which is naturally aligned to him. So I fired from here. It went like this on the rooftop, because when the next day when we killed them and we searched the house, so I could see my bullets. And the next moment I know he's firing from here. Where those bullets hit me, I don't know. My buddy was over there. I put my hand over here and we went out, because there were 2 windows. And we went out of the windows, because when we jumped out the window. Because when you conduct the search, you open the windows. So they were open. We went, we had a fall of 8-10 feet, and we went down. And in the next thing, I could remember click of something falling, and there were 2 hand grenades. And he threw. So we went inside. We fell on the veranda, and then if the house was there, it was like this. There was just a slope. We went, and the grenade exploded. The splinters are still there in my legs.
Oh shit!
Both the legs I had splinters. These are all splinters. It is 18-19 years, and here also. So they never took it out. So the splinters were here, and then I went. And then I start engaging. One guy tried to run. We eliminated him on the window itself. And my buddy got a little bit more injured than me. He had also had splinters. So he had to be evacuated in the night. I fired whole night. This continued. In the morning, then we told him to surrender. We called his family members, surrender. Then he blew the house with a rocket launcher.
Oh shit!
So he died inside that. So we killed 2 that night. And it was the month of November. And higher reaches were with snow. And I was there with these splinters inside my leg for the whole night. And it might be around -4, 5, 6 degrees. So the doctor later told me that you need not take out the splinters. So they are still inside my body. They got dissolved. So he told me these are souvenirs of war. So that was a close one. That I didn't know because I checked the weapon next morning. The safety catch of his weapon was an assault. R stands for single shot. So assault. Sometimes what happens is that when you fire a AK-56, it doesn't have a muzzle compensator. A muzzle compensator is they cut the barrel in such a way so that if you fire AK-56 or 47 like this, so the bullets will go in a 2 o'clock direction. Oh, really? So the muzzle compensator compensates for that. And this could have saved me, his being on burst fire. And the second thing, which I keep on telling to people, that always keep your butt stock open. So his butt stock was folded. So he might not have got the butt stock. Butt stock is the part of the weapon, the elongated part, which is on the shoulder like this. So it was folded. So he didn't have the stability. That might have saved me. But then this distance, nobody can save you apart from God.
Shit.
So that was the day. I couldn't have saved. Then parachute jumps were there, in which my canopy didn't open. I've been saved. That is why I say close.
Man, I'm so happy that you are here with me.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
this is
Yeah, so
crazy.
that
is crazy.
That happens. Yeah.
Was there a moment, not just in this this incident or other, that you felt fear?
No, fear was not there.
No?
I don't feel fear from anything.
Shit.
But yeah, apart from my wife. Yeah, so now the point is that fear was not there, but I knew today I have been saved.
Yeah.
Even if you make me fight 6 feet 4 inch guy, I will fight. I know I can get defeated with this level of, but I don't fear anything. Fear was not there, but yes, this kind of realization was there. Ki today was my lucky day.
Yeah.
And it was the luckiest day of my life, I will tell you. I have been in situations over my career, but that was intensive and it was real close that day.
So you develop that sense of fearless. You're fearless. How can we in our lives develop the same sense of fearless in our life?
Fight the fears.
Yeah.
Face them. There's no other way. If you feel fear of heights, jump from an aircraft. If you are fear of speaking to public, go and stand and start speaking.
Yeah.
There is no written formula. In our case, you can be trained. Your muscle memory, you do 100,000 times you are in the, I would say, I'll just give you an example. When you do practice room intervention drills in a close quarter battle, you are inside practicing, firing, practicing. It becomes your muscle memory. Yeah, you fire so much, the smoke which comes out of a weapon sometimes. If there's the parts are well oiled and you have not cleaned, sometimes it comes. So the bottom of the eye, this part becomes black. So keep on firing. You keep on firing. You're firing left, right, center. This scenario, this room, this in. Then what happens is the weapon develops a stoppage. Then you just take the primary weapon off, go to their secondary weapon, take it out, engage. So that is muscle memory and that is practice. So keep on practicing. What I want to say is that if you don't practice, and you can practice to fight your fears, there are ways and means.
How?
Like I will tell you, I for a normal person, I will tell you, I was not a very extrovert or very good in public speaking. And as a young person, as a young man. But somehow down the line, when I started speaking and engaging with people and putting my points and thoughts across, while maybe briefing troops, while maybe addressing a gathering, because in army, you have to put your thoughts across to your troops. And in army, every day you are addressing someone or the other. So when I started addressing troops, my fear or my shyness of speaking, it kept on decreasing.
Wow.
So the fear of speaking in public, it went out. But this is how I developed that fear of not speaking as a very, very shy, average student. Not very conversant in English. That's how I changed the tide.
Wow. So what you say, the first thing is you need to face your fears.
There's a fear. You need to address it. You need to acknowledge the fears. You need to acknowledge this I am weak at. This is my weakness. You need to acknowledge, and a balanced person and a successful person will know that this is my weakness.
Yeah.
So you need to acknowledge that fact. I'm not reading that much, which I need to read. So there's only way to improve your knowledge is to read.
Yeah.
There is no other way. There is no rocket science involved in it. So that's the basic.
So you face your fears, then you prepare for it.
Absolutely.
Then you do it multiple times. And then it's like muscle memory.
It's muscle memory. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. That's,
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? When you were telling, you were sharing your story, and I was living it. I was imagining you being there. No, I'm curious. What was the in those moments where you were there? It was tough. What was the smallest moments of joy that you were having that you can remember from those moments?
Humorous
joy that you were having joy.
I will tell you, there was generally it used to happen that when we go out for counter-terrorist operations, we want it to, generally we plan the duration of the operation, but sometimes it might start as a one-day operation and might go for 5 days. So when you are fighting for those kind of operations, so the simple joys of life is that you've gone for a 1 day, 4-5 in and out kind of operation, and you got stuck in a firefight where the terrorists are holding up for 372 hours. So in that case, you are in the same place. You are fighting. You are stuck. Limited food, whatever you can get your hands on. So lying at a place in muck, in mud, in places which are very unhygienic, no bath, weather, sometimes sub-zeros, generally very cold. You might be at a place, maybe a graveyard, where you're covering the house from. A normal person will not go over there. So once you see this kind of things and you go back, the first thing you want is a Maggie. You tell your guy, make some Maggie for me. You don't think of, give me some chocolates, give me a cheeseburger. Cheeseburger, obviously, in our company operating base, it is difficult to make, but he will make. Give me egg, give me meat, give me. I'm a vegetarian now, but give me butter chicken. So you enjoy and relish it. You don't worry about the calories because 4-5 days you have subjected your body to that kind of. So those are the smallest joys. Giving a call back. Yeah, I'm good.
Wow.
That simple call that it's okay. That's a joy of life. I will tell you more. Like eating this and going back, having a drink. I used to drink at that time. So I don't drink now. But having a drink, we used to have CD players. The CDs used to come. Now though there are many OTTs platform there's. So those CDs used to come, watching a movie with friends over a drink, smoking.
Wow.
And because I used to smoke also at that time, now I don't. So maybe after the operation, just go give me a quick grab. So these are all joyful activities.
Wow.
Very, very small for a person who's getting it every day. If you ask me that a person who's living a normal life, a civilian, if he feels like having a cheeseburger, just goes to the market, goes to McDonald's, goes to a nearest cafe. A person who's sitting in wilderness, who doesn't have access to all those things for days together, for him, that cheeseburger is those are things of joy. So very, very small, maybe a fag with friends, maybe smoke, maybe watching a movie in which 2 times your generator will go off, no big screen, just a small television, or maybe on a laptop, maybe on a tough book, watching that movie together, sipping a drink. Those are joys of life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. That's what it is. So
Very,
you don't have much luxuries, but that is what are luxuries.
So you were mentioning, when you were mentioning like when you are in that situations, everything happens so fast. At
Yeah.
the same time, you also start developing your senses and the better understanding situations and how to take better decisions all the time. The
All the
same.
time.
It goes to
Under
the muscle.
stress.
Exactly. Under
stress.
Under stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how do you remain calm when there's like this is also for our audience. When there's so much stress around you, how do you remain calm in the situation and you take decisions and you move forward?
Oh, I am not the guy who remains generally that calm. I am. My mind remains in an overdrive. But it's not that. Calmness is the fact that maybe I've seen that kind of things for the better part of my life. The first incident I narrated you in which my buddy got shot, I was like wild. I wanted to bring that village down. I want to hit people. Left, right, center, burn it down. But there is no other way. Remaining calm is because you need to understand one thing, which people need to know, is that distractions has to be out. You need to keep distractions out. In your normal life, draw the lessons. You are in a meeting. You know your phone keeps on zipping. Put it on the flight mode. So when you are in combat operations, put your world outside. Your wife creating trouble for you, saying something that children have not done that. Mother is ill. Just keep it out. So what we used to practice, and it's a good thing to do. I don't know whether it can be incorporated in civil or not. The guy, when our teammates used to come back from leave and join us in a deployment, the first couple of days, we never used to take them out for operations because their mind still remains aligned to their homes. Generally, we used to follow that because it takes some time for people to get used to the environment and your mental faculties, homesickness, meeting your loved ones, coming back. It takes time to get back on the track. So give them a couple of days off. Similarly, when he's proceeding on leave, from there his deployment is ending or he's got a vacation coming up or a leave, just don't take him out for the last 2-3 days because he's already reached his house.
Exactly.
So what I'm trying to say is, in stressful scenarios, keep your distractions away. Anything which makes you weak. So you need to keep your distractions away. You need to make your mental faculties attuned to your environment. You need to practice it. And this is achievable. If people think that what I'm saying is not achievable, then they need to do a lot of self-introspection. You can do that. Because that kind of raises our focus when we talk of seeing in life. It doesn't remain for all the time. It doesn't remain all the time. So you need to find out ways and know yourself. What situation works? Somebody is an early riser. Somebody works late at night. Suit yourself. But be at it. Be at the job.
And you know, what I love is that it's really applicable
it's
to
applicable.
our life. One is about what you say, like you need to stay focused on your target, whatever you want.
Whatever you do.
The second is you need to eliminate the distractions. Right?
Absolutely.
The third, what you said is like you need to make sure you are in the right mindset to stay present.
Stay present.
In the moment. So those three. It's awesome, and we can implement in our life.
It can be army, it can be special forces, it can be civil, corporate, business.
That's awesome.
Because you need to take out if you want to achieve your goals, you need to take out the distractions from your life. You will not even,
Yes, but what you are saying, of course, you guys are prepared. Your level of training and to be prepared for that, it's insane. But what have you seen? I mean, you also were a colonel, and what have you seen that the top 1%, the best of your groups? What were the characteristics that they had? Especially that made them be the best one?
Mission accomplishment.
What is it?
It is achieving your goals against all odds, always remaining focused. Yani, any kind of, the guy, like I will tell you the example. Certain things are embedded in your personality. Whether I was in special forces, whether I am now, I still run 20 kilometers. I am meeting Rodrigo. I am meeting and addressing people. I will just give you an example. I need to hone myself and practice my craft every single moment of my life. I will tell you how. You come and meet me.
Yeah.
I come as a war veteran, or a war veteran, so I'm not fought a war, but then I've been in counter-terrorist operations. I'm ex-special forces. And you meet me as a person, and I need to sell you the fact that I've commanded a special forces battalion.
Yeah.
If you see me acting lethargically, having a big tummy, and talking that I run 20 kilometers a day, you will say this guy is not, he's not genuine. Yeah. So, similarly, when I'm at the top of my craft, I'm selling a particular thing, I need to practice on it myself every single day. What people don't understand is that as the commanding officer, I used to work hard than what I was a troop commander or a team commander. Because I have to do operations, I have to do training, I have to do administration, all things. It will take out a toll out of me. And when I tell my troops to run 20 kilometers in a day, I know I'm 42 years of age or 41 years of age. The guys are 22, 23 years of age. They know that in terms of physical fitness, they will be better than me. But if I'm beating them at that age, so they will look up to me. So you need to, the CEOs and the founders need to work hard more. They need to come if the office time is 9, they have to come at 8 o'clock. If the leaving time is 6, they have to go at 8. Because,
I love it.
Because when you tell people that work hard and you cannot be found taking a nap or resting. It doesn't happen that way. So in life, people will follow you if you are able to sell your personality without any complications. You must appear to be a genuine guy. You must get involved in it. They cannot be half-hearted measures. So the top 1%, they will not be half-hearted measures. They will go all in. If they don't have to sleep for 3 days, they will not sleep for 3 days for the presentation. They will go all in. And all in means not as a cursory statement, not superficially. All in means putting yourself completely into the kind.
Wow,
go for the mission. Just live that thing, dream that. And the problem with the 1% is that you will not find many people in your group. That's why you are the 1% club. That is why it is like that. Like, if I don't practice my tradecraft in special forces of killing a militant every single day, I don't train, I don't fire, I don't do my physical fitness, no terrorist in my life I have eliminated has come like, it's kind of fleeting opportunities. So no terrorist has come like, he comes with a weapon like this, sits, basks in the sun, and he's thinking, and then I come and eliminate him. He comes for 4 or 5 seconds. He just shows his face and moves. If I'm not able to engage him in that particular moment, I'll not be able to do it. And for that 5 seconds success rate, I need to work 10,000 hours in my life to get that bullet in the right place. I need to fire 10,000 rounds. I need to do multiple practices. So you need to practice your craft. You need to have a vision. You need to have a mission accomplished goal. That's zeal. Inbuilt zeal to do your mission correctly. There is no other way you can actually do it. I don't find it. You need to work hard. You need to slog hard. And you need to slog hard more than your subordinates, more than your employees. Yes, people can say that you need to give decisions also, but For that also you need to know your craft, because you need to be professionally at the top of your trade. You'll not be able to sell to people, because employees, you are a figure whose character and whose life will be under microscope when it comes to employees watching you. You cannot just fool the people that I'm doing just kind of work and not achieving it. So you need to live that life.
You cannot imagine how I love what you said. But there's one particular thing that I enjoyed, which is like people sometimes they don't realize the how being a role model have a huge impact.
It's a huge impact. Always, because always watching.
Exactly. And that's what you said about like if you show up every day, at your best, like
at your best,
they will also follow.
Right? They will because they are seeing you.
Exactly.
I told you, and I was talking on podcast of my physical fitness regime. So yesterday also that people met me in the airport when I was coming to Mumbai. So they told me that you are more physically fit than you look, than what you say on the. Now we believe that you can do that.
Wow.
What I'm trying to say is, what I try to sell, I need to live it every day.
Yeah.
Because if you are not a genuinely kind of guy who's giving genuine contents, you will not be able to sell it that emphatically, and you will not be. It's like a CEO knowing his own product.
Exactly.
If you don't know about your product, if you're selling a car and you don't know where does its unique selling point, that the USP lies, you've not driven it, you've not built, you've not been in that dream, you will not be able to do it.
Yeah, I love it. So we talk about the top performers. Now what I would be interesting to understand is what about what are 3 things that you learn in your experience in the army that we all can implement in our lives?
The first thing is, like I told you, is to dream outlandish. Have a biggest dream of your life. There is a thing which I tell people about dreaming big. You need to dream big because as a person, you don't know your limits. Till the time you don't dream the biggest, you will not push every ounce of your blood, energy, sweat, your knowledge towards achieving that aim. And people who achieve something and who don't achieve are only the people who have not dreamed outlandish. Because people who will dream big, they will make that kind of effort. Second thing which you need to understand is setbacks and failures will be part of the game. I don't think so. I think so 0.1%, maybe I don't know who gets everything in the first go in life. It doesn't happen that way, my friend. It's not going that way. You need to suffer failures in life. You need to, because failures will make you stronger. They will tell your mind and body to work in a different kind of way. The way which you would not have thought of had you been successful in the first go. And it will tell you that life is about success and defeat both. You cannot be having success all the time. It will make your desire much more profound. It will make your desire to achieve goals much more compelling. You will live with it. If you get it in the first go, if I'm born with a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, I will not value that thing. But I buy a two-wheeler first, then I buy a normal sedan first, then I buy another car first. Then I have work hard, reach, and then I bought the Lamborghini. Then I know that I started from a bicycle and now I've reached Lamborghini. So setbacks, failures, it's very important. And finally, the third thing which they need to know is that never give up. Never give up on your dreams. The day you think you are giving up in life, the success was around the corner. Yeah, don't just give up what people think of you. Don't give up what your peers say out of you. Don't give up on what your subordinates think of you. Don't give up what your seniors think of you. Be self-taught. Be your own guru. Go back down to the trenches, rise back up. There's no other way. There's no other book. There's no other way. You need to fight it out. You need to fight it till the last. Certain times you will lose. There's no doubt about it. 100% dreams you will not achieve. There's no doubt about it. However, you need to understand one thing, that if you give up, there is no way you are going to achieve it. And don't give up on hope, because hope is one thing which will make you. Once hope goes, money you can earn, fame you can earn, but these are the things which if you give it up, there's no hope in your life. There's no never giving up attitude in your life. Then you'll find it very, very difficult to move up ahead. It's very difficult. I don't think so. The people might have struggled a lot. The guys who are doing the best in life, like I said, it's 85% billionaires are first generation. So might be, it's true. It's true. And I am the kind of guy who work hardest, that's all. I might not achieve all the things. I'm not a genius kind of a guy. And the guys on top might also not be the genius. But they are those guys who will always be working towards that.
Yeah.
That's
kya baat hai?
Yeah, kya baat hai? That is kya baat hai? Yeah. This is actually, this is actually.
I love it, man.
Yeah, so.
I really love it.
Yeah, so that is how it goes. And it's universal, I think so. It can be correlated with anything in life. Yeah.
Very good. So we're coming to the end. You know what I'm in my mind, myself coming from outside, there's this, this relationship between India and Pakistan.
Yeah.
And you lived it very intense because you were there in the border.
Yeah.
How do you see it now? What is the situation of this relationship? And how do you see it moving forward?
Look, I will be very candid and upfront about it. There are two nations, same cultures generally, but the biggest of enemies. The present situation is like, I will tell to the forum and to the public, I've told it before also, the solution to this problem lies politically. It does not have a military solution to it. It will not have a military solution. And they are very well educated, very well read people, top of the line, government officials, bureaucrats, on either side, both sides, who are, I would say, much qualified than me and in a position to influence decision making. There is no military solution to it. So you need to have a political solution to it, because you need to understand one thing. As far as the Indian Army, in which I have served, is concerned, it's a border state with Pakistan. So if people think that army will ever move out of that state, it doesn't happen, because you share your borders, and that too porous borders, that too line of control, which is not really marked on ground.
Yeah.
So the solution to this problem, this terrorism or insurgency or even the normal stalemates which keep on happening, is at the political level. You need to resolve this problem through dialogue. Militarily, it will not be resolved, because insurgency and terrorism is supported by a population. And that population happens to be our own countrymen. So you cannot blatantly go out all guns blazing that as if it's a war and you are not bothered. So the best way to resolve the solution is to come to a political table, have discussions, have mindful and pragmatic, I would say, resolutions. Have them, implement them. And I would say implementation is a more important word rather than just having a dialogue and then having a failed state and going into the phase of generally Cold War kind of a thing. So the people need to understand that you need to have a political solution to it.
Yeah.
The earlier it is, the better it is for all.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, we're coming to the end, and I have one more question. What is something bigger for you?
Something bigger. My life, all my life, I've lived by the concept of something bigger. I always am, first of all, people called me retired from the army. I intentionally removed that word from my life. Yeah, I would, even if people don't call me as colonel, they know me as a soldier and as an officer of the Indian Army. It is a big thing for me. For me, something bigger means that in every phase of my life, what I'm telling you this, my past, although it leads to my future and my present, but what I'm trying to say is there are phases of life. So Army and Special Forces was one phase of life. Okay? And it was a phase of life where I learned a lot. My second phase as an entrepreneur, or you may call it as a motivational speaker, or you may call it as a person who's trying to do something, is a totally different phase. In my opinion, everyone on this Mother Earth, every human being, you must not retire in life. There is no, when I say don't retire in life, it might not be in the monetary terms. You can take retirement, but keep your mental faculties and your physical. Have a physical, a mental, a spiritual, whatever goal you might call it, in every phase of your life. Because that keeps you going. Because when you shut everything down, that slows you down as a person. But these are my personal views. So now I want to become the best of the entrepreneurs. I want to have a life. I want commercial success. I want everything. Maybe 10, 15 years down the line when I've, like Special Forces, I achieved certain things. The combat I wanted to see, the adventure, I achieved everything. So now for me, going on a trekking is just like putting a backpack. Not for those, like people I see in civil go for 15 days expeditions, Mount Everest base camps and to various peaks. I've done that life.
Yeah.
So for me, it might be just going to a place, climbing 3 hours of trek, all alone, wearing a backpack, feel the wind, feel the thing, and I will get my share of my quantum of solace. I will get in that. I will get my solitude, because I get a lot of solitude in the mountains. I love mountains. I'll just go for a 3-hour trek, nobody with me, just wearing a backpack. When we used to go in operations, we couldn't stop in a house because surprise was there. So I will go to a house, have some tea with them, talk to the people, and come back. I might not go for 10 days. I might not do those extreme climbs because of that I've already done. So my focus is changing now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to write. I'm already writing a book. I want to explore. I want to read more. I want to read a lot. So these were never my focus. My father used to tell me, like, read a newspaper. So I used to put up my cricket bag and go out and play cricket. Now I read 4 newspapers. He used to tell me to read books. Now I read 6 books. So what life changes and what transpires and how it, have a goal in each phase of your life. Don't say that, I am a person who says, don't say that you are retired. If you can't do anything, help a community build up. Take a passion, maybe a non-government organization, maybe, and have a passion. Whether it is physical fitness, whether doing something, always devote 1 hour in your 24 hours towards your passion.
Very good.
Otherwise, you need to, because we are talking of long-term plans. We are talking of really, like, if you're living for 80 years, I'm talking you are working till 80.
Yeah.
Something or the other. And don't put the limits on yourself. Don't limit yourself. Okay, I can do this. Don't limit yourself for, say, if you feel good that particular day and your plan was to run 10, go for 15 if your body allows you to. So don't limit yourself. Be yourself guru. Be yourself mentor.
Yeah.
Because nobody tells better than you yourself where it has gone wrong. And generally, people, 99% are correct in judging themselves.
Yeah.
But they don't take out that, they always remain in that doubt whether this will be correct or not. What will people say? How will I be treated? How will I be? Just leave it. Accept yourself first. The world is going to accept you. I think so that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah.
Very good. How would you say that in one sentence? Like, what is something bigger for you?
Never out of the fight. You're never out of the fight. I have a tattoo over here. It's my unit's motto or whatever you say.
Show me.
You have to open it short. It will not go up. It is over here. Yeah, it's somewhere over here. It's fight, you can see. So, never out of the fight means whether you are in combat, whether you are in civil, whether you are in every phase of your life, you're fighting for something. So you're never out of the fight. If you're out of the fight, then you are not going for something bigger.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Man,
yeah.
This was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. So good. Yeah.
No, I mean, I enjoyed. I mean, now I read about you, but now, I mean, I respect you even more. I mean, not just your story, but also your attitude. Yeah. So I had a blast in this conversation. Feel very
pleasure's all mine. Yeah. And it was a singular honor. It was like, it's worth a visit. Speaking to you, seeing your passion, seeing your love for India. I really respect that. Anybody who loves my country and anyone. And it's so beautiful that I'm so honored to meet you and have a candid discussion. And I wish that Something Bigger becomes the best podcast in the world. My sincere wishes to you. I pray to Almighty and Lord Shiva that He bestows you with all the success, happiness, prosperity, and may you grow more than Something Bigger. Yeah. Have a nice day.